Welcome back to another episode of the Selective Podcast. I'm your host, Exsar. Really excited to get another episode out this week. This week, we're going to be talking about the Louis Vuitton Fall-Winter 2021 collection and also the recent Spring-Summer 2022 collection. Kind of go do an overview of our favorite pieces. Joining me today for this discussion is the one and only Sean, aka The Thinkings on Instagram. He is an expert of all things runway shows, so it was only fitting to get Sean on the pod. Guys, this is going to be a fun one. Like I said, we're going to talk about the LV runway shows, get into some of our favorite pieces, and also talk a little bit about Kanye, Balenciaga, which happened yesterday. Talk a little bit about Virgil and Kanye as well. So it's going to be a fun one. Enough rambling, though. Sean, welcome back to the pod, bro. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and you, man? What's up?
What's up, man? It's good to have you back on the pod. How's South Africa? How have you been holding up?
Man, it's been slow. It's been chill.
Yeah.
I've been doing my thing. It's getting cold now, so I'm chilling here with my heater on.
Bro, that makes no sense to me, bro. Because, like, obviously we're on the opposite sides of the world. So, like, for me, like, my summer is your winter.
Yeah.
So does that mean for Christmas, it's hot?
Oh, bro, Christmas is, like, so hot. It's ridiculous. We swim and stuff in Christmas.
Dude, because when I think of Christmas, I think of, like, snow.
Yeah.
And, like, Santa Claus, you know?
Yeah, it's so weird having Santa and, like, these snow decorations up and everyone's swimming in the pool.
That makes no sense to me. I'm glad everything's going well on your side of the world, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on the podcast, like I mentioned earlier. But Louis Vuitton, man's been in the headlines recently. We had a really, really interesting Spring-Summer 2022 runway show a couple weeks back, if I'm not mistaken. And then last night,
yes, sir.
BTS rocking the Fall-Winter 2021 pieces. And then also we had a pop-up recently here in New York at SOHO, Louis Vuitton pop-up, and there were some interesting pieces of that too. So, I mean, this is just going to be a fun Louis Vuitton episode. I guess a good place to start, man, is what did you think of the 2022, the Spring-Summer 2022 collection? I know we were talking a little bit before about the YouTube video, the video that went along with the runway show, and it was a really good video. But overall, when you saw it live, what were your impressions of the show?
Well, the first thing I always do with the Louis Vuitton shows, because LV, of course, does really well on my page, and everyone that follows me know I post a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I get my phone out with the show, then I watch it on my computer, and I'm there with my phone spamming screenshots to get stuff while I'm watching the show.
Really?
So I normally normally I watch it back like twice while I wait for Vogue to upload their pictures. But the video was crazy. It's not what I expected at all. With all the Japanese themes and like the Wu-Tang Clan music and everything like that was so sick to me. I really liked the whole like Japanese forest scene. I thought that was so awesome. And like the grocery store that was a dojo, like that was just so cool.
There was a lot of like interesting setting changes throughout the whole video.
Yeah.
And then I agree with you. The whole Japanese kind of influence with the video, like the set, and not only like the cinematography of it, but also some of the pieces seem like really almost like samurai-esque inspired, if that makes sense. And it's interesting because I think with Virgil's LV, we're used to colors, very I guess pieces that are more in your face. And I feel like while these quote unquote samurai-esque pieces are still very out there, they're the color palette's a little more muted. I feel like it's a little bit more avant-garde that people who are into that avant-garde look can get into, those pieces as well. So it was a really interesting kind of shift from what I think we've seen. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the whole of the last collection, that green was insane. And he kind of brought the green back again and all those blues. Not a fan of all the Lumo, but it was there and it was very prominent. I really liked the blue, the like Kanye royal blue that he brought in. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and then of course in typical Virgil fashion, we've seen some new varsity jackets as well that will be coming out, and it seems like the varsity jackets are always kind of like the talk when you're talking about the menswear. collection and everything that Virgil's doing with the menswear collection. What do you think about this round of varsity jackets? We got the forest green one, which is
Mm.
sick, and then we got like the bumblebee one, which is a
I
little.
really like the Bumblebee one.
You do.
Yeah, I really do.
See, that one's a little harder for me to get into, man. I feel like yellow and black is just so it's just such a hard color combination to style, but I think the design, like the patches are nice, you know?
Mm. I mean, it was the same with the last season, the green one with the skulls.
Mm,
People didn't know how to rock it, and I mean, I posted pictures a few days ago with someone that works at LV wearing it, and he wore it super well.
mm.
And what I am disappointed though is that they removed patches from the runway look. I think they removed 2 patches,
Oh, did they? I didn't
which
know that.
is which sucks on the left sleeve. I think it was like 3 patches and 2 patches or whatever, and now it's like 2 and 1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously the big talk has been I would say the fan favorite has been the forest green one. It's one that we've featured on the selective. It's one that you featured on your page.
Hmm.
You know what it feels like to me? It kind of feels like the Wizard of Oz one is gonna have that kind of same prominence. I don't know if you agree with that, but I really really like
Yeah.
the forest green on that one, man.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah, so let's get into some of our favorite pieces from the show. So I know you sent me a few before this. We'll go over it, and then as you give me the looks, I'll post them up on YouTube so people can follow along as well. But yeah, let's get into it. What was one of your favorite looks from the show?
Man, well, I got 5 looks here. So I'll go with one that really stood out was look 17. I forgot the guy's name now, but he was at the end of the video and he was one of the main centerpieces.
Mm,
He had that really almost 80s kind of sweatpants look, and then he had the boots on, the new
yeah,
LV boots that are like a mix with the trainers,
yeah.
which I'm not really a big fan of, but I thought it was super cool. And the belt that Virgil's been leaking like since 2 seasons ago that he's been working on. They finally showed off that belt. Um, then probably look 28. I really like the structure of this look. I'm not a big fan of the colors. I thought the pants were super cool. I know a lot of people hate the pants because it's been compared to those undercover jeans a lot.
Mm.
Um, but I really like it. I think it's super sick. I would definitely wear those jeans. Not too sure about the jacket. And I really like everything Virgil's done with these like sweater-esque hood covers and masks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've seen like one of my favorite looks is look 57 with the puzzle piece, blazer and suit and everything. And that checkered pattern on that mask is so sick to me. It reminds me, I don't know if anyone listening has watched Evangelion. There's these things
Yeah,
called
yeah.
angels in
Mhm.
Evangelion. It looks like angels from Evangelion, which I think is super sick. It's the first thing I saw when I watched that.
Yeah.
Also, look 53. I just thought that was so cool. It's like a scarecrow kind of scary type of look with the pirate flags as buttons, and I thought that was super sick. And then also look 78, which Virgil wore at the conference for the show, which was pretty cool. I think he rocked that suit and pants. A lot of people hated it. He also showed off the new Nike LV Air Force Ones in that suit, and I thought it was super sick.
Yeah, I don't know the hate would look 78, man. It's a beautiful suit, and I love the rope. Obviously it's
Yeah,
not
I
a
do
rope,
too.
but the little I'm blanking on how I would describe it, but we'll show it up on the pod. It's basically it comes around. It's reminiscent of like a woman's peacoat. You know how they have like the strap
Yeah,
that comes around the middle and you can tighten it.
yeah.
Um, of all the looks that you listed, a lot of these looks are very out there, man. And I feel like look
Hmm.
78 is one of those that can be styled really well and elegantly, and it's not a look that requires that is not so out there where it can turn people away. I feel like look 78 is a very 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 just a classic menswear look with with a little touch of streetwear with the flowiness of the trousers, but the cut of the suit is really nice. And yeah, you're right, Virgil wore it, and I thought it looked really nice when he wore it too. um Going back to like look 28 now, this is not a look we would have seen from LV like 20 years ago.
No way.
And this is just a
Yeah.
testament to the impact of Virgil, right? And kind of his streetwear s direction and how he's incorporated that into luxury. And we've seen brands for the past 10, 15 years do that too, right? We've seen this trend of streetwear and luxury kind of blending in with each other, because there's a
Yeah.
huge market for it. Like, these luxury houses know that, if they can get the kids involved with buying this stuff, it's better for them in the long run, right? Like, long gone are the days where luxury was just for upper class people, right? And although these pieces are expensive, they have roots in like street culture, hip hop culture, and I think Look 28 exemplifies that. The
I
pants are
agree.
crazy. The pants are crazy, man. But I really actually like the jacket. I wouldn't wear it myself. The colors are a little out there for me, but um, I like the little stick figure on it. It's very hip hop to me. It's very like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And that's something that I appreciate that LV and other luxury houses have been doing, because I feel like it's more inclusive to the culture.
Yeah, what I really like about the jacket is that there's a Black Panther on the back of it, and I
Mm,
thought the design of that was super sick. You can't see it on the runway photo, but I'll send you a photo to put up on
yeah.
the video on YouTube. But it's just I like the cut of the jacket too. I think it's very nice, but I'm just not too mad about the colors. I might
Mm.
wear it, I might not wear it.
Yeah, I'm not mad about yeah, I'm not crazy about the colors, but I think it's a good look nonetheless. I really like Look 28. But what's been more my speed, however, has been some of the other looks that we've seen, particularly Look 53, like you mentioned, and then there was another one that was a little bit more samurai-esque. If I can find it real quick, I'm going through the runway photos. It was Look 53. Let me see. Give me a second, guys. Oh, here it is. And Look 48. And I'll put these up on the pod as well. Look 48 is crazy, and this is kind of going back to like the
Yeah,
the Japanese inspiration that we got. It features kind of like this vest. It's an all black look, which I really like. Y'all know I really like muted colors. Really nice trousers. Some nice what it looks like derbies, and just like a very like crazy look. And it goes back to the whole mask thing that we were talking about, man. We've seen Kanye West wear these masks, these weird like ski masks almost. Um,
yeah.
and we see that in Look 57 as well, man. I don't know if this is like a trend that's actually going to take off, but we've seen Kanye actually wear it out in the wild, and it looks insane.
Yeah, I really like Look 48. I would say I would replace it for Look 17
Mm,
in my top five. I'm gonna say that.
okay.
But with the masks, with Kanye wearing all the masks, I started watching Watchmen recently,
Mm,
and it reminds me of the mask from Watchmen. I don't know why, but
yeah, yeah.
I think these masks that he's wearing are super sick, especially the mask he wore yesterday at the Balenciaga show. That Harley Davidson mask, which I thought is the coolest one he's wore yet, and his the blue black Jesus one that he wears. I think those two are so sick.
Yeah, I think we the first time we saw him wearing these face coverings was I think it was like during the time when the Yeezy Gap jacket, the first one, was released, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah,
And ever since then it's just been a kind of a talking point of like what are these masks? And it's just they have like holes on them so you can breathe but you can't see his face. And it's like, I wonder if these are actually going to take off. Um if this is just if this is just something we're going to see on the runway, or if this is actually something that we're going to see out in the wild. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I definitely think it's something we're going to see out in the wild. I mean, I've already seen people on Instagram copying the look already,
Really?
and Travis has that Jesus mask already. So, um, I would definitely say yeah.
Yeah. It
And
just
and some people rock it too. Like some people look really cool in it. But
yeah.
I don't know if I'd wear it myself. I probably would, not gonna lie. But yeah, it's super sick.
It just feels so like dystopian, so like cyberpunk, so out there, so anime. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love it, dude. It just seems so dark. And yeah, just like so kind of mysterious. But speaking of Kanye, we saw him at the Balenciaga show, which was last night, correct? Or was that yesterday?
Yesterday morning in Paris. So yeah.
Yeah. Crazy show. And he was wearing the Kanye Gap puffer that was recently released in blue, but he was actually wearing it in black. And oh my God, man.
Oh, it's probably my favorite in black. It's
Bro.
so nice. It looks so good on him too. Like it's exactly like the Kanye fit you would like to see. It really makes his huge chest look even bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is too is that he's also wearing like the nylon, but in a trousers version.
Yeah. I thought that was super sick too. That whole fit is so crazy.
And what I'm thinking is that this is actually going to be something that's going to be released with Yeezy Gap in the future. It's going to be a set. You know, we're going to have the puffer jacket, but we're also going to have the nylon trousers. And the foam runners he was wearing were crazy too. They look kind of custom.
Yeah, I think maybe it was like some shit they were having fun, you know, at Yeezy, and then they just threw shit on his foam runners.
Right.
I thought it looked pretty cool. But also shout out, he's wearing Nike socks too, which is a statement again.
He is, bro. What's up with him wearing Nikes? He wore when we saw him with the blue Gap puffer, that first photo, he was wearing, what was he wearing? Like a pair of Blazers or something?
Man, I forgot what they're called, but I don't think they're Blazers. But the price of those shot up after those photos, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But apparently, because he's wearing a mask, Adidas is struggling to get him in trouble for wearing Nikes because people can't confirm if it's 100% him. You know what I mean? Even though everyone knows it's him, he just can't be.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I saw something about that. That's the conspiracy things, because there's not his face directly. Because in his contract, I remember he went on his whole tweet rant, and he posted the photo of him wearing the court purples, the Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
And Adidas got that tweet taken down because in his contract, he's only allowed to wear Adidas products on his feet, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how a brand can dictate what somebody wears like that.
Yeah. So I'm actually happy he is making statements like that. And I mean, you know, people always like, you can never wear Nikes with Adidas socks. Or you can never wear Adidas with Nike socks, you know?
Yeah. What's crazy too is that maybe the whole mask thing was, and this is kind of going down the rabbit hole a little bit, but maybe the mask was developed just so he can wear Nike products and not be seen, kind of as a workaround from his contract, which in theory would be really insane because that would mean that he's basically finessing Adidas, but at the same time, he's starting a trend that we're probably going to see around coming up for fall winter. I think is these ski mask things that are getting kind of popular.
Man, I'm already getting tagged in photos of people wearing Nike socks with their Adidas and saying like doing it like Kanye.
Wow.
It's already happening.
That's insane, man. It's the Kanye effect, right? Like anything that guy does turns to gold for people.
Literally. It's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, going back to LV. Last night we also saw BTS, the K-pop group. I'm not gonna say band, the K-pop group. They were sporting LV's Fall Winter 2021, and they had a show last night. You know, I'm not the biggest K-pop fan. I'm not really in tune with that side of music. But man, some of these looks were crazy, bro. Like these, and I'll throw up pictures. But like these blazers, these suits were really elevated. They looked really really nice. And we also saw, you know, the varsity jackets too. I don't know. I don't know what you thought about some of these looks, but I thought they looked really great.
I think they suited it hella well. Like that's exactly what you want to see in a photo campaign. And I thought the set was really cool.
Yeah. It's really industrial.
Even now, an hour before, you know, we're recording this, Virgil was posting about how he designed the whole set. Which is insane because those that may not know, Virgil has a complete master's in architecture and everything background degree. Yeah. So it's cool to see that he's using that.
Yeah. It was a 5, I I'm reading it right now online on the LV website. LV
Yeah.
says, quote, previously an industrial building, Buchanan Art Bunker B39, if I'm pronouncing that right, was refurbished in 2018 to become an art and culture space while preserving its history and exceptional architecture at the same time. Featuring unfinished walls and high ceilings, the 5-story building hosts 39-meter tall bunkers where the men's fall winter 2021 collection was unveiled. Now, the whole BTS contract, if you will, was actually a pretty big move for Louis Vuitton because I mean, uh, they're basically BTS is basically house ambassadors for LV, and that kind of
Yeah.
expands LV's approach to not only Korea, but BTS is one of the biggest groups in the world, so it's like a no brainer to have these guys wearing their stuff. And the set was great and the looks were really really good, man. There's this one picture I'll throw up. It's like a green. It almost looks like a green suede cardigan with like green flowy trousers, a trucker hat, and what looks like a loafers on feet. Just some really really nice looks that came out of last night's show. And I don't know. It just shows that LV's making moves, and they've been making moves to expand their reach and their approach. And I think the show last night was really successful in Korea, and it like I said, it just kind of shows the scope of LV, and then of course getting on BTS is huge for a brand like that.
Yeah, a few fashion houses have been doing that recently too, like in the last 2 years. Like I always see Dior or Celine or, anyone just posting all the even individual K-pop stars being, becoming ambassadors for the brand. And then they do shoots, they unveil collections and everything. It's so crazy because they have such an influence over the Korean market, I guess.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. They definitely do, and it was a cool show to see last night. Virgil's architecture degree has always been interesting because we kind of see that coincide with the products, with fashion. And I wanted to talk about the SOHO pop up that recently opened up here in New York. Man, what a beautiful building that is! And I don't know if Virgil had any say in designing that, but there's some really interesting design choices that went into that building. It's purple on the outside, and it's like a bright red on the inside with some green accents on the walls. And I'll post up a picture on the pod. But the Soho pop up has been really successful here in New York. I know a lot of friends. Shout out Joel, one of the guys who went out there and picked up the pair of trainers. But the building is just absolutely beautiful.
I love it too, man. It's so crazy. The trainers have been really popping. I'm not too sure about them still, but I do want to say, which is really cool, I love this upcycled stuff they are doing, despite the shoes still being insanely expensive. So with this batch of shoes, I think it's the red colorway and the blue colorway, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But they are the original shoes from Virgil's first collection, and they've upcycled the unsold pairs, the unused pairs, all of that, which is really sick.
Yeah, man. And we're seeing other luxury houses do this. I mean, Gucci partnered with the Real Real a couple years ago to upcycle some of their older stuff. I mean, you could argue that these fashion houses aren't, they're probably not doing it, or they might not be doing it for the right reasons. It might be more of, they're doing it because the kids care about that kind of stuff. But hey, if the kids care about it, that's what's good. I mean, sustainability is a big part, and the clothing industry is obviously responsible for a lot of pollution. And just like the upcycling of these materials, I mean, Kanye did it with his puffer recycled nylon. These particular trainers upcycled from the first shoes that he released. I'm a little disappointed with the shoe though. I mean, I'm not. The pop up is great, beautiful.
Yeah, insane.
But the shoe, man, is it particularly the red pair with the green laces and the green ton. I'm not a fan of, and then it says low on the midsole in green. It's not my favorite LV trainer that we've seen. But hey, nonetheless, it's upcycled. It's a cool shoe. But what are your thoughts on the sneaker?
Yeah, I also don't like the red one either. I definitely prefer the blue, and the packaging is super sick. It's like a Hot Wheels type of.
Looks like a toy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did the same packaging, if I'm not mistaken, with the Tokyo exclusives, or the Paris, and then the Paris exclusives, I think, where they did the same thing just in different colorways, and those are also super sick with the And I mean, they're really aiming towards skateboarding now too, because all the packaging is based off of skateboarding and that whole skateboarding logo with the skeleton and the crow and everything on it, which is super sick.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that the shoes aren't really that great to skate in. But then again, why would you skate in them
Really.
for that price? I heard they're like really heavy, bro, and they're not very comfortable.
I mean, I felt them in person and they are very heavy. They're very well structured shoes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a friend, shout out to at 8 Marvel on Instagram in Paris, and he only skates in these.
Really?
Virgil gives him them and he only skates in them. Every time I see a picture, this guy is just skating in these trainers.
Wow, wow. Speaking of the trainers, we saw the Nigo, the human made ones, recently. Geez, man, I think those are beautiful, bro.
The duck ones.
The duck ones, man. They have
I like them too. They're really fun.
Yeah, I'll put a picture up. They're all white. They have the LV on the tongue, which is yellow, and then they have the human made duck silhouette
sir.
kind of placed throughout the sneaker. Which, of course, if you all know, Nigo's one of Nigo's brands, Human Made, is more of a Japanese kind of like Americana brand. They make very good. They make very good pieces. I love Human Made. But yeah, these trainers
Me
are
too.
sick. These trainers are sick. I think this is a cool collaboration.
Yeah, I would definitely rock them. I think they're super fun. I always like shoes like that. It's really a pop to your wardrobe. You just wear it out to the shops or something. You really feel like it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, going back to the spring summer 2022 show. Anything else from the show that you particularly liked that you wanted to talk about, whether it's in the video, the music, the pieces? Overall, I will say I think it was a really fun show. I think the video, the cinematography was well done. The set changes were really fluid, even though from
Yeah.
set to set they were so different from each other. We had, some sets that were like orange, and then they go back to brighter colors and then darker colors. Um, and the few Japanese influenced pieces that we saw are very, very interesting too. Those are a pleasant surprise. I did not expect that. But overall, I thought it was a very good show. Overall, your thoughts on it, Sean?
I was gonna shout out to the cinematography. I think it is super good. But I don't think it's a show for everyone. I think the last show was a lot better, but it is very different still. But there is also similarities, which I do see. I mean, for me, there's more pieces I like in the show than there is overall looks that I like.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's a lot of jackets I'd buy. Everyone's seen the LV Nikes at this point. I want to ask you, what do you think of those?
I mean, they're nice. I wasn't a huge fan, but then like you said, we saw Virgil wearing them
Yeah,
with the suit, and I thought they looked nice. I thought they looked nice there.
they did look really nice.
They looked nice on him. When I first saw the photos, I really wasn't sure, but I thought in that picture, in that picture itself of him rocking them during the show, I did like them. So, um, I don't know. It's kind of weird that he's doing these shoes with Nike. If I'm gonna be honest with you.
And it's like Off-White too, which is so crazy to me. The amount of work that has to go in behind the scenes with contracts and stuff just to get that done legally, I think is a bit insane.
Yeah.
There's a lot of horrible colorways. I won't even lie. I think there's like one blue one and it's got like a yellow plastic swoosh on it. And like, there's no way. Some of them look like Chinatown ripoffs. I hear a lot of people saying that.
Yeah. And what I will say too is that I don't know how this guy manages his time between Off White and LV
Oh
and the
man,
things he's
he has
doing.
no time. It's insane. I mean, he doesn't even read my DMs. It takes him like a week to reply.
um, yeah, no, I can imagine that. I mean, and the recent Off White Runaway, I wasn't too big of a fan of, but I mean, hats off to this guy, man. He's really putting in the work. I don't know how he has time to run both of these, but yeah, I will say about the shoes, I didn't like them at first, but when I saw them on him at the LV show, I thought they looked really nice. Um, so yeah, I guess those are my thoughts on it. I guess it's just kind of, I don't know, it did not my cup of tea, the colors and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, what did you think of all the dresses?
Um, I like them. I like them, dude. Like some of these pieces are just so out there, you know.
Yeah,
Like a lot of these runway pieces are not like are not pieces that you can like really wear out. I always look at these as like pieces of art rather
Mm,
than pieces that you can actually rock on a day to day. So with that in mind, I like them. I just there's so many of those pieces that I just don't think are like street ready, you know? And we saw
yeah.
that with, and like you said, with the runway show, there are individual pieces that you like, but some of these looks are just really, really hard to, and it's like that with every runway show, right? Like these are
Yeah.
looks that are very, very hard to wear together. Like, I don't know, I'm looking at look 30, for example. It's like all neon with like the black and white checkered mask. And it's like, dude, no one's actually gonna wear that.
Yeah. No way, man. I mean, there's this whole like weird rainbow. It almost screams Paris Hilton to me.
Mm.
These fluffy, foamy, like um, there's a hood of it and there's a fur jacket of it. There's this fucking crocodile jacket, which apparently costs you set you back $60,000.
Oh my gosh.
The rainbow crocodile, which I don't see anyone wearing, but I imagine I'm gonna see a rapper wearing it very soon.
Right, right. And like some of these pieces aren't, these are meant for like, the upper echelon of society, if you will, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, even his varsity jackets are really expensive, man. Very expensive.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, overall really good runway show. I liked it. Um, and to be honest, Virgil kind of has the dream job, man. He's working at LV. This is something that we know historically Kanye has wanted to do. There's that really famous video on YouTube. I think it's called how what is it? How Virgil stole Kanye's dream job.
Or
Uh,
how Kanye's apprentice stole his
yeah,
dream job.
yeah, how Kanye's apprentice
Yeah.
stole his dream job. Um, do you think that Kanye would love to work for a luxury house one day?
I remember in an interview after that where he was I forgot who the interview was with, but he recorded it at his ranch in Wyoming and he was wearing a blue hoodie. So if anyone knows that interview, you'll know which one it is.
Mm.
But he was saying that he was talking about how he almost had to go to Virgil's first runway when he was there. And I mean, that those photos of him and Virgil hugging and crying and everything after the show, that was such a moment too. It honestly is a piece of history, I think, at this point, the impact that these two have made on the fashion industry. Um, and I think that Kanye he said he's not going to work for a fashion house. I think he's really pushing forward with Yeezy Gap now. I don't even think he's going to drop music for a while. I think his main focus is this Yeezy Gap collab and Yeezy.
Yeah, I think it might have been like his dream previously, but after
Yeah.
Virgil kind of securing the LV job, maybe in his mind it's been kind of a shift of look, why join a luxury house when I can create my own? And although Gap is not a luxury house by any means, I think that
Yeah.
he's taking, and Yeezy as well, like he's taking it in a more uh in a different direction um than just the shoes that we've seen from Yeezy, right? Like some of these pieces are really out there. I'm really looking forward to some of the Gap pieces as well. And yeah, I think I would agree with you. I don't know if it's in Kanye to join a luxury house at this point. I think his focus is on Yeezy Gap and those pieces and growing the Yeezy brand, which is, to be honest, huge at this point. He might not even need
Yeah.
anything else,
Yeezy just jumped over jump, man.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, Sean, man, we've been recording for about 35 minutes now, man. I think we've got some good conversations going. Some other stuff I wanted to talk about, which is a little unscripted, but any pickups recently that you've been getting into? Yeah, just kind of what have you been buying recently? What have you been wanting to buy recently?
Man, I haven't bought anything for a while. The
Mm.
last thing I bought was those Yeezy 500s.
Okay, how do you like those?
Man, I'm not even going to lie, they're probably one of my most comfortable shoes that I own.
Mm.
I was very skeptical because I was thinking of reselling them. But the resale value isn't that high. I was only going to get like $80 or something. So it was kind of not worth it for me. And plus having to find someone. And so I took the tag off and I wore them. I've been wearing them nearly every weekend. I think that they're so cool. And I mean, there's like 5 colorways that look exactly the same, but I'm really happy with my choice. And the whole story of me getting those is quite crazy. because I wasn't supposed to get them. I didn't even know they were dropping that day because I walked into the store and I was talking to this guy because he had the new 380s that dropped, those alien ones. And I thought those were sick. And I was talking to him. I was like, do you guys have any other Yeezys? And he was like, yeah, we have the 500s that are dropping in an hour because they did like an online raffle. And I was like, damn, can you sell me one of those? He's like, I'm not supposed to. And then like I had a conversation with him and I showed him my Instagram and shit. And
really, bro? You showed him the bro.
No. And then so then he was like, all right, man. And then he brought them out. He let me try them on and I bought them.
An hour before they were supposed to drop?
An hour before they were supposed to drop.
Man, that's what the thinking has done for you, bro.
It's so crazy to think the amount of opportunities as well that this page has given me. I mean, even meeting you guys and everything, I would have never been in this position if I didn't do this. So I'm really happy.
Wow, that's insane that you were able to get those shoes early, bro. Speaking of the thinkings, you hit 30K. You're at 31K right now.
Thank you so much.
And I feel like your page, like analytics wise, has been doing really well recently, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been going crazy. It was actually really slow about a few weeks ago. But as I was saying earlier, is that LV does super well on my page. So I decided to post that whole lookbook and everything. So that went crazy. Virgil always shares any of my LV stuff. So that helps me a lot. I mean, I think Virgil has like 8 million followers or something now, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm starting to post a lot more like more newsy stuff that like trends.
I noticed that.
So,
anytime we see celebrities out, anytime we see them out on a runway show, you're getting like these photos. I don't even know how you get them. It's so
man, it's hard work, bro. I was with the Kanye Balenciaga stuff yesterday. I would have just drafted a post, right, with like 4 pictures of Kanye, and then as I go out from the draft, because maybe I don't want to post it right then.
Yeah.
There'll be like 8 new pictures of Kanye that just came out. I'm like, oh, well, fuck, I don't want to post these separately. And then I have to redo my post because it just happens and I follow the right people. But I mean, you know, with that Kanye stuff, shout out to all the other big Kanye fan pages. Those guys really do put in the work. I mean, it's hard sometimes and sometimes it's just too easy, you know?
Right. Like sometimes the content is just there for you to take and it does well.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes I put in the research. Like this morning, actually, I posted. There was that crazy 4th of July party that Michael Rubin threw. Yeah, that was insane. The guest list was crazy. In the morning, at the end of the party, Meek Mill, man, that guy always gets in fights. But he got in a fight with Travis Scott, and I posted that on my IGTV. And man, I wanted to get captions for it. I found someone that had captions, and then I had to do this whole process of downloading it from like one of those weird sites and then getting the captions to work. And that took me like 3 hours, bro, just to get this IGTV video up because I've never done it before.
Yeah, man. Your Instagram you put in a lot of work. You're doing a lot of history and a lot of research. You recently, one of the posts that did really well for you a couple of days ago, it might have been last week, was the Roman leather sandals that look exactly like Yeezys, bro.
So shout out to my boy Polished. He sent me those on Reddit. And I was like, holy shit, bro, those look like Yeezys.
Yeah. So
I posted them and it went crazy.
For context, on the thinkings, there's a photo, and I'll put it up on the pod of 18 Roman leather sandals, excuse me, that are almost 2,000 years old that are on display at some fucking museum in England. And when you look at these sandals, they literally look like Yeezys, bro. Like the ones on the right look like foam runners.
Yeah, literally, it's insane. I mean, I even did the close-up post there. You can see it even better.
Yeah, the close-up post where you can see, and they look exactly like Yeezys, bro. And your comments, bro. Kanye has some explaining to do. Restock date. Super insane. But yeah, your page has been growing a lot, man. I feel like lately with the new stuff, it's kind of helped out a lot. But that also means that it's a little bit more work for you, you know.
Oh yeah, man. I'm having way more pressure to post more. I'm really trying to post at least 15 times a day now. My minimum used to be 9. Man, so, I mean, with this, and the thing is, I really will never post something if I'm like, damn, I really am not feeling this post. Even if I know like some people are going to like it, I'm not going to post it because this page is kind of about me, but it's not about me at the same time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you want it to be a curation of things that you want as well. So it's a kind of fine line to walk. But dude, the only thing I ask is hopefully you don't get burned out, man. I know it's been a lot of work for the thinkings and
Man, I've been going straight. I haven't missed one day for nearly, it's been a year and a half.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. So just for some update on for the audience before we get out of here, I'm finally in New York City. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. It's still kind of crazy moving in. But it's good to be in New York, and I miss my girlfriend. I miss my dog. They'll be joining me in a couple months, which is really exciting. So, you know, yeah, I'm just excited to kind of get going here in New York. I was telling Sean before we recorded, I went to the Chrome Heart store on the Upper East Side, not the flagship store in the West Village, but the jewelry store, and I picked up a spacer ring, the Fuck You spacer ring.
Yes, sir.
And I was talking to the Chrome Heart store, man. He gave me his card, and him and I were talking for like 30 minutes, just chopping it up. And he was like, "Yeah, man, like these days the kids know Chrome Hearts as the hoodies, the shirts, the hats. But we have people." He's like, "Yeah, we have younger people come into the store thinking that it's the flagship store, but this is only the jewelry store, bro." And the jewelry store on the Upper East Side is probably as big as my kitchen. Like, it's not very big, man. Like, you walk in there, and all four walls are filled with jewelry, and that's it.
Dude, that's super sick. I've never heard of it before. I have to Google it.
And the cool thing about it is that you don't need an appointment. Like the flagship store, you can just walk in.
But, you need an appointment at the flagship store.
You need an appointment at the flagship store. Yeah, I don't know if that's a COVID thing or if that's just like a Chrome Hearts thing, but yeah, you do.
I think that's a bit crazy. Like here with the luxury stores, you people queue. Like you can't get into these places, if you don't have an appointment. I remember when I bought my LV Millionaires.
Oh, the glasses.
Man, I don't know if I've told this story, but I bought these, man, the Millionaires are like my favorite sunglasses. I saved up for these things.
They're nice glasses, bro.
I bought the classic black ones with the gold.
Yeah.
And I went to my optometrist first and I was like, do you guys have these sunglasses?
Oh, I think you told me this and you had to return them, right?
Yeah. And because my optometrist was like, yeah, no, we've done these glasses before. They fine, everything. Now, I know people don't know this. I'm hella blind. Like my prescription is thick as shit. So I was like, okay, cool, bet. I bought these glasses, took them to my optometrist. They're like, okay, cool. Send it into the lab. So my glasses actually have to get made overseas. It depends. It's either Japan, Switzerland, whatever.
Yeah.
They were like, it will be 2 weeks. So then I'm like, I bet. So I go back in 2 weeks on the Monday and they like take out the box, everything. I was like, yo, I'm so gassed for this. They give me this letter, bro. And it was like, we couldn't do it. It was too risky of a procedure. And you have to sign a waiver. And if you sign the waiver, if the glasses break, there's no refund. I'm like, God, if the glasses break, then I can't return them. So I was like, that was just a whole stuff up, bro. And I was so upset.
So you returned the Millionaires?
I returned the Millionaires. And the thing is, too, I Googled my prescription and I Googled the sunglasses. And I found a guy on Reddit that had a very similar prescription and he had the same thing done, but he was in the UK. So I don't know how he had it done. And my shit got sent to fucking Japan and they couldn't do it.
Oh, so, really? You had to send it overseas?
Yeah, I think it was sent to Japan or Switzerland. Those are normally the two places where it gets sent to.
Interesting, man. Interesting. Yeah, that's a big out. The Millionaires are a really nice pair of sunglasses. And speaking of glasses, at the Chrome Heart store, the jewelry store, like I was telling you, the rep was telling me like, yeah, we have a lot of young people coming here asking about hoodies and stuff, and we say, look, you got to go to the flagship for that. But he says he also gets like a lot of older people who go in and they only know Chrome Hearts by their sunglasses.
Really?
Like, yeah, like people who are older, like people who were like in the 90s, during the days when like Matt LeBlanc, Cher, Slash was wearing Chrome Hearts, like when rock stars were wearing Chrome Hearts back in the 90s. Like he says older people like that come in and they're buying Chrome Heart sunglasses and they don't know about the Matty Boy stuff, which is so crazy to me. But yeah, anyways,
I'm not too mad about Matty Boy's stuff, to be honest.
I'm not, because after talking to the people at Chrome Hearts, it seems like there are two sides of the business. There's the
Mm,
jewelry side and the leather side, which still does really good with people who are fans of it. And
yeah.
then there's the streetwear side, which is what Matty Boy has been doing, which, I'm personally not a fan of. And I know T and I have talked about this on the pod before. When I think of Chrome Hearts, I don't think of, screen printed hoodies. I think of jewelry. I think of craftsmanship. I think of leather. I don't think of streetwear. But that's okay, right? Because there are two sides to that coin, right? There's the other Chrome Hearts that people know it as the streetwear stuff. So I think the
Mhm.
brand itself has done a very good job at kind of keeping both sides of the coin happy. Because like I said,
Yeah.
excuse me, you can still go into the jewelry store and buy a wallet, buy the keychains, buy the earrings. I mean, they had the dagger earrings. They had so much beautiful, beautiful pieces of jewelry in there. And it's like they're still fulfilling both sides of that coin.
Yeah. I do want to say, me and Exar were talking about Chrome Hearts prices before the
Oh yeah, yeah.
the show, and I did pull this up. So I was saying that the jewelry prices used to be a lot cheaper, and yeah, you could get. I don't know when this is from, but I think it's the 80s or the 90s. Some Japanese poster for 7,000 yen, you could get a Chrome Hearts necklace. That is $71 today.
Wow. Wow, man.
How much is how much of that set you back now?
Like a necklace, probably like a grand at least, maybe. I
That's
mean,
insane.
so I bought when I was at the store, I bought the spacer ring, which
Yeah.
is pretty popular. I'll post a picture up on the pod, but there's different versions. It's basically just like a silver band, and they have different types. They have like the forever one that says forever on it, but mine, I got the fuck you one, um, and this sent me back like 300, which like
Mm.
isn't bad at all. Like that's not
Yeah.
bad. That's especially for Chrome Hearts. Like that's not bad. But I wanted, I saw the cemetery ring in there, and without diamonds, it was 800. With diamonds, it was 15. And that's like, man, that's like a lot of money.
Wow, that's a jump. Yeah,
Yeah,
holy shit.
it's a huge jump. So it's like, they have some, for anyone who's getting into the Chrome Hearts jewelry stuff. I mean, yeah, just get a spacer ring. They're not cheap, but like it's not $1,000. You know what I mean? It's a couple $100, and they're pretty obtainable. But the wallets, the keychains, some of the like the bracelets, those get really pricey. So you just gotta
Wait,
pick and choose your battles.
did that just like fit you? You didn't have to get a resize or anything.
He tried on the sizes for me. They had a bunch of sizes, and we tried on. I know I'm a size 8 on my ring. I mean on my pointer finger. So
What? I don't even know. I just buy whatever
yeah,
fits me, fits me.
yeah. So
Like, I don't know that.
yeah, I went in there and tried them, which was really nice. But hopefully, I can go back and get a cemetery ring at some point. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. Sean, man, before we get out of here, anything you want to plug? Anything you want to give a shout out to?
Man, if you're not following the Selective, follow the Selective.
Mm.
If you're not following me, follow me. If you're not following XR, follow XR. And stay blessed, stay well.
Yeah, I hope everyone's doing safe. Hope everyone's staying safe out there in the heat. If you're on the other side of the world in the cold, like Sean is. As always, guys, keep it locked in on the Selective with unique editorial content. Of course, the podcast every week, and then also drops always on the horizon as well. I appreciate you guys listening to the show. As always, for me and for Sean, we say thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.